Hello, I'm Tom Newton. I'm the Director of Printed Circuit Board Technology here at the IPC, and I have a question of the week for you. That question is, out of the total of 55 specification sheets that are contained within IPC-4101, how am I ever going to find the right laminate material? Well, the answer to that is relatively simple. It is basically contained in a search capability in what is called Section 7 of the IPC 4101. Current revision is B, by the way. You may likely have a purchase order, a fabrication drawing, or something similar in which your customer has called out what material they believe you need to use. But quite honestly, you need to ask questions of that customer. Build a relationship with them. Try and get the information as to what's the real application, what's the real operating conditions, what's the cost impact of this laminate material that they're asking you to use and that you're considering. It doesn't hurt to ask those questions. You really need to understand what that customer truly wants to know. Back to the concept of a search term and search capability contained within Section 7 of the IPC 4101B copy at this point. It really has 60 total search or keywords to be used to find the material. Part of the problem with some people in using this is that they find that they have to search individually with individual search terms each time. We have no mechanism for cross-checking on this. But if you realize that limitation, just start grabbing the appropriate terms as you believe they're needed. Specifically, though, if you get too broad in your search, you're not going to be successful in reducing the number very quickly from the 55. An example is if you use the search term of epoxy woven glass, you'll end up with 21 separate individual specification sheets called out. On the other hand, you may get too narrow in your search and not really find the proper one. Using IPC 4101 and searching on the term of FR3, for example, believing that may be the best material for your application, will yield a single specification sheet. Now, is that really the right one? You have to be the decision maker in that case. Keywords I want to caution you are really for searching only. They are not specification requirements and should never be used accordingly. In fact, we discourage people from utilizing the keywords in conjunction as descriptors for individual specification sheets. They really don't apply for specification leads. On the other hand, if you take a look at the specific specification sheets, you will note that there are no keywords on the hard spec sheets themselves. That is, we are trying to prevent you from using it accordingly. Incidentally, if you want to be using the latest and greatest version of IPC 4101, be aware that in June of 2009, the revision C of the document will issue. That's great because over the past 3 years that the revision B has been in use, there's been a number of materials developed, a lot of data has been developed, and we continue to develop new spec sheets as are appropriate. However, in revision C, be aware also that there will be 66 individual specification sheets, and that makes it even more valuable for you to use the search capability contained within the Section 7 of IPC 4101.